Estimating masonry works includes quantities for cement and sand used in mortar. Learn how here in quantity surveying. This is the video continuation of estimating a fence. This time is checking quantities for masonry works. The project is a small fence of 4 bays in 3-meter spans. Use 5 inches CHB and the fence is plastered on both faces. First is to determine the required number of 5 inches CHB. Using one span, the on-center distance of columns is 3 meters, but the area where we place CHB is the clear span, which we can compute as the on-center length less twice of half of the columns. That is 3 minus twice of 0.2 divided by 2, which is equal to 2.8 meters. The height of the fence is 2 meters above the grade line, plus the 3 layers of CHB embedded beneath the grade. We have 2 meters on top of NGL plus 3 times 0.2, making 2.6 meters as height of the fence. The area for CHB is then computed as 4 spans of 2.8 times 2.6, which results to 29.12 square meters. The number of CHB for the area is computed as 29.12 times 12.5 CHB pieces per square meter, giving 364 pieces of 5 inches concrete hollow blocks. Next is to solve for the mortar filler. Take note that each concrete hollow block contains 4 voids. Such voids are measured from the standard where concrete thickness is 1 inch. Thus, the height of the void is still 8 inches or 0.2 meter. The width is standardized at 3 inches or 0.075 meter. The only variable dimension is the thickness. For 5 inches CHB, the thickness of the void comes as the full thickness of the CHB less twice of 1 inch concrete, resulting to 3 inches thickness of void. The volume for mortar in each CHB unit is then measured as 4 of 0.075 times another 0.075 times 0.2, resulting to 0.0045 cubic meters. Next is to take the volume for filler in 364 blocks for the whole fence. And that takes 364 times 0.0045, that is 1.638 cubic meters. This is the volume we use in proportioning mortar components, where for mortar mixture class B, cement requirement for 1 cubic meter is 12 bags and sand is 1 cubic meter. So 1.638 times 12 is 19.656 bags of cement. And sand is computed as 1.638 times 1, which stays at 1.638 cubic meters. For the mortar used in block laying, we would need to confirm the number of layers for the fence. With one span of the fence having a width of 2.8 meters, there are 3 layers of CHB embedded under the NGL. The fence also stands at 2 meters above the natural grade line. Laying out the CHB, There are 3 layers under the ground and 10 layers above. Now let's check how many layers of mortar do we need to compute. Since the project is a fence, it isn't necessary to provide mortar for block laying on top, which leaves us with just 13 layers for block laying mortar. The standard thickness for mortar used in block laying is half an inch, which is converted as 0.0125 meters, or commonly taken as 12 millimeters. The volume of mortar for block laying is then computed as 13 layers of the dimensions of each layer. That is, 13 times 0.125 meters thickness of CHB times 0.012 meters thickness of mortar, and the length of 2.8 meters, which is simplified as 0.0546 cubic meters. With mortar mix class B, cement is then estimated as 0.0546 times 12, making 0.6552 bags. The quantity of sand is computed as 0.0546 times 1, which is equal to 0.0546 cubic meters, just the same. The last masonry component is for plaster. Using one span of the fence, check the change in height for plastering, as we don't need to plaster the layers embedded under the grate. The standard thickness of plaster is 16 millimeters. Thus, the volume of mortar for plaster is then solved as the number of faces times the number of spans multiplied by width, thickness, and length. The plaster volume is then 2 faces times 4 spans with 2 meters height times 16 millimeters thickness and 2.8 meters length. The volume is simplified as 0.7168 cubic meters. Using Class B mortar proportion, cement is then 0.7168 times 12, making 8.6016 bags. Sand is then 0.7168 times 1, which is 0.7168 cubic meters. Last is to summarize the bill of materials for masonry works. Concrete masonry units are computed as 364 pieces of 5 inches concrete hollow blocks. For cement, filler needs 19.66 bags. Block laying requires 0.66 bags, and plaster needs 8.61 bags, totaled to 28.92 bags, and rounded up to 29 bags. River sand is used for mortar filler and block laying, with 1.638 and 0.0546 cubic meters respectively. The project needs 1.7 cubic meters of river sand, rounded up to 2 cubic meters. Then fine sand is used for plastering, which was quantified as 0.72 and rounded up to 1 cubic meter.